Hi everyone, we're here again. We're gonna be working on review of distance between 2 points, but we're just gonna be focusing on the vertical and horizontal line of the coordinate plane. So how do you find the distance between 2 points in a coordinate plane? So just to remember that this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. We had our previous lesson about this and what are the points that's given in each of the quadrants. So let's start. So let's see what the horizontal distance is. I just want to remind you that this is not a diagonal line. The diagonal line, we're going to be learning that in a separate lesson, which we're going to be learning on Pythagorean theorem. But this time it's just the horizontal distance. And again, if it is a horizontal distance, it's just like horizontal, like how you look at the horizon, right? That's why it's a straight line on your eye view. And if the points are located on the same quadrant, we take away the absolute value of that point. If the points are located in two different quadrants, we add the absolute value of their distances. So let's see an example for us to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, here we go. So if let's say I have a point that is located here. I'm putting it there so that I could have space. And I have another point that's located here. I'm going to label this A and I'm going to label this B. Did you see this difference between these points over here? That's why we're subtracting the absolute value of their distance, because this location or this distance was missing from the point of y-axis. Because it's horizontal, we're just going to be referencing it to the y-axis. So let's see the coordinates of A and B. So if you look at this, we have the coordinates of A, the x-coordinate. Remember, the point will always be xy, right? So I hope you remember our lesson, it was just a while ago. So for A, the x is -6 and the y is 3. And for B, the x is -3 and the y is 3. If you notice, they are located on the same point of the y. It's on the 3, that's why it's horizontal. So we're just going to find the absolute value of their x coordinates. But remember, we have to take away, we have to subtract, because we have to take away these points over here. That is not part of the distance from the y-axis to the location. So now we're going to have the absolute value of -6. Take away the absolute value of -3. In that sense, we could say that the distance of A and B, so this absolute value of 6 is 6, minus the absolute value is 3. So we could say 3 blocks. Mind my handwriting, it's a little like sloppy. Okay, so from A to B is 3 blocks. Let's check. That's 1, 2, 3. So that is correct. So you checked out. Let's find another horizontal distance that is not on the same quadrant, that is from one end to another. All right. So let's say I have a point from here. Let's take this again. So I'm gonna be locating my point over here to over here. So let's label this C and D. Let's find their coordinates. The coordinates of C is -4 and 3. The coordinates of D is 5 and 3. It will always be X and Y. If you notice, they are standing at the same point of the Y, which is 3. But they are located on the other quadrant. So therefore, we really have to find the distance from here to here and from the Y to the D, because they crossed, right? It's not that they are located on the same quadrant. So therefore, absolute value of -4 plus the absolute value of 5. So the distance between C and D is the absolute value of where it's located. It's -4. I still stand for absolute value because we're talking about distance. And here at 5, because they are located in the same number 3 street. So that's 5. So now the absolute value of negative 4 is 4, and the absolute value of 5 is 5. So you could say that they are 9 blocks away from each other. If you're talking about a street, so that's 9 blocks. Okay? We want to double check if we got it correct. So just by counting it from one point to another, let's see if we count it correctly. Let's do the simple counting. So that will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our 9 blocks is correct. Let's see if we could do this in a horizontal distance. I mean vertical distance. Vertical is the one that stands out. So let's say a point from here and a point from there. Right. My students used to say, why can't we just simply count? Yes, definitely you can. So that will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. The distance is 3 blocks. But what if I'm asking them to solve it using absolute values? So we could label this E and F. And let's find the coordinate and solve. I'll give you a moment and then I'll solve it for you. And then you'll see if you get it right. So you use it using the absolute value. I could always just say absolute value of 5 is 5 minus the absolute value of 2 is 2, and the answer is 3. And as we said before, we counted them. That's 1, 2, 3, which is 3 squared. And the same way, if we're gonna do it with 2 different quadrants. All right, so let's say point G and point H, find the coordinates and solve for it, and let's compare our answers. If you got your answers 8 blocks, then you're correct. If you notice that this is 3, 4, I mean 4, 3, right? So X, Y, and this is 4, negative 5, 4 and negative 5. So they are located at the 4th street, and they're separated for how many blocks? 3 plus 4. And if it is absolute value of 3 is 3 and absolute value of negative 5 is 5, when you added that, it's called 8. So you could say 8 blocks. If you really want to double check if your answer is correct, we just count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we could conclude that our answer is correct. With this one, I let my students create a map for a project. So I tell them to create map. But I really hope that you understand how to find the distance horizontally and vertically using the absolute value on the coordinate plane, right? So not thinking of the diagonal line as the shortest distance, but later we'll figure it out and I'll give you a lesson for that. So again, you guys gonna create a map using the north, south, east, and west location, and we'll figure out the distance after that. So I'll show you the maps that was created. So you could always ask your student to create a map and then later on find the distance. For example, later Kevin gonna solve for the distance between the mall and the Staples. I asked them to create a map using 10 locations, and I don't care how it looks like, but they're gonna create a map. So this is one of them. This is Kevin. I'll show you more. Some of my students really created a good one, but you can expect everybody to be the same. So here, this is a random town, and they have those locations, and actually they already like solved the distance between this. So these are the maps that my students have created. The next task that you're going to do is to find the distance between the locations using the vertical and the horizontal distance. All right, I want to just show you their work, but they were able to make it. So at the end, students will be able to find the distance between two locations. I asked them to at least do 3 vertical distances and 2 horizontal distances. I hope this lesson will help you find an activity that is so amazing and fantastic for your students. I really hope that this activity will help you create like fun things with your students, even though it's math. Until next time, guys, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye for now.